To the Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the L Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Hey, it's Thursday night. Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show. We're talking the Bears. Good evening, Steve. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening, John.
Hello.
Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show, where we have the young and the old. That would be me. Steve's in the middle. And then,
oh, give me a break. You're in the middle.
Okay. Hey, Merry Christmas. We are a week and a half, 2 weeks away. My wife has been cooking with my daughter all day. They've made how many cookies, Laura? She's downstairs, but I'd say 1,000 cookies. No, I don't think that many. But
you have my address, John. Just
I know. Good
mail.
news for Licking Heights, the staff and my counseling staff. I will, if you watching our show or listen to us, I am bringing treats tomorrow, cookies. That's right, for all of you. So, if you're at the Licking Heights staff, run up to the counseling department, and we'll probably have a few extra cookies for everybody. I don't have any extra cookies for you Browns fans, but the Browns are. We got a big game against the Bears, and things are looking great. I should say things are looking good for Joe Flacco, but the Brownies have some issues with the IR. They have like 1,000 players that went on there like this week, and the list
a day.
Yeah, the list
just afraid to go to Twitter.
Like
I thought I might end up on IR. Oh my gosh, I'm on IR.
My gosh, just the news, like all of these guys, Maurice Hurst, Grant Delpit, who just signed this exclusive, really nice extension contract. I don't know when he tore his groin muscle, but he tore his groin, which is probably pretty painful.
Well, he did get hurt during the game. I did see it during the game.
Yeah, who else is on that list?
He left, and D'Anthony Bell came in for him in the second half.
Okay.
So, who played well? I'm a big D'Anthony Bell fan.
Yeah, D'Anthony Bell. Then we got, who else joined the list this week? Jedrick Wills?
DeJuan Jones and our starting left tackle, Jedrick Wills.
Okay. Okay.
So far.
I didn't know that Tommy Togiai is still on the team, I guess.
Yeah, he's on the practice squad. He played well in preseason. I was shocked. Yeah. I've been cutting him for the last 2 years. And he surprised me in the preseason.
Yeah, he might get brought up, you think, for Sunday's game?
I think he will. I think we're going to finally see the NFL debut of Sika Ika. We might see a little bit of McGuire, the other defensive player they drafted. Kid out of Missouri, which I'm high on. It's they haven't signed anybody, and I didn't expect them to. I thought that they would, if Jim Schwartz wanted them to go get Sue, they would have gone and got Sue. So he's happy with Sika Ika and Tommy Togiai, and if he's happy with them, I'm good.
You're good.
And as long as they show Alex Wright where to line up, he's a very good player. I mean,
yes,
he is. He can play inside, outside. So I think if they get Denzel Ward back, their secondary is in pretty good shape. They brought up the guy they signed, Harmon Durian, or pretty good pretty good safety. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings.
Oh, wow.
The only knock on him from Pro Football Focus was he was 32 years old. Plays like 2/3 of the time at free safety and the other third at strong safety. So going to see a lot of Ronnie Hickman, I got a feeling.
Right. Yes. Ronnie Hickman. Sam, how you doing down there? How's the injury bug? Are you still staying healthy? You staying hydrated? I see you drinking some water down there.
Yeah, I had another water bottle, but I already drank it before we even went live. So,
and we are live, folks. This is live. This is live TV. So if we screw up, it's live. So don't get nervous, boys. Don't get nervous. Just keep drinking that water. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid. I've got my Diet Coke.
Yeah,
we're all good.
It's interesting with how many people have gotten injured. I mean, the injury bug's hitting the whole NFL. I mean, you look at it, and it's just everyone's just destroyed over here. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, did he get hurt? Was it non-contact when he got hurt? I think it was.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones, I believe, was non-contact.
Yeah.
And there's just a million people that are just stepping up in the pocket and just ripping their ACL. And,
so I have a question.
So Aaron Rodgers set the tone, getting hurt after 4 plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that just did it for every quarterback in the league.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is coming back this year?
No.
He if the Jets were like, I'm just throwing out a number 8-2, he would definitely be coming back. But I think the fact that they're just absolutely garbage right now and have no chance of making the playoffs, there's no reason he should come back and
garbage. I think you're talking about Jerome.
He's not going to risk over $40 million guaranteed next year, John.
Okay. I guess that somebody was saying that he's been starting to work out, but it's like, come on, man. Like, there's no reason.
Clear to practice is one. Yeah. Clear to play is another.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not coming back. He's already said that if they're out of the playoffs, he's not coming back, and they're not going to make the playoffs. Sam's
let's talk about this. Well, I think Jerome Ford, every time you say garbage now because of what our colleague Joel has always said about Jerome Ford off camera. But let's talk about Joe Flacco. And he signed a year-long deal finally. He is not going to be going back and forth through the practice squad. Everybody was freaking out. I know, Steve, you were trying to calm everybody down on social media. There's a lot of
rules.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't read. They don't read like we do or you do. Yeah,
I'm talking about NFL insiders. Like Rappaport said that he could be signed, and there was another one said that he can be signed.
Yeah, just trying to get those clicks.
But he's a vested veteran. If he's offered, he'll go, no thanks.
Speaking of clicks, please click on our Fanatical Elfz show right now.
Yes.
Follow us on the X. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Apple. Subscribe to us on Spotify. We have grown so much over the last several months, and we've been gaining popularity amongst all you Twitter X folks out there. We love it. I think we got about 300 followers just since last Sunday. We're giving away crap. We're giving away stuff. And people like giveaways, and we'll continue to do that. By the way, I'm not giving these away, but I do, just to let anybody know out there who's listening. I have 2 tickets. Yes, that's right. 2 tickets to the Brownies, to the Bears game. Anybody interested out there, you can direct message me. That's right. My name, John Suchan, just JOHNSUCHAN. Send me a direct link, and I can hook you up with those tickets. Great location, section 544, row 3, seats 13 and 14. I know if anybody wants to steal those. So would love to give them to some great Browns fan, and I'll give you a really ginormous discounted price. I have been checking like since last week. It was funny. You could get a ticket last week to Jacksonville for like $5 in the upper deck. This week the tickets are going for more like 35 to 55 in certain sections of the upper deck.
That's more like
where I'm at. There's still, but the ticket price of the actual face value from that I paid for those tickets is $85 a piece. So they're going for a little bit under that right now where I'm sitting. Usually, I'll even give you the even more ginormous discounted price than the $60 or $70 that they're being listed at. So contact me, John Suchan, on the X, and I'll give you all the information you need so you can be there Sunday. The game starts at 1:00. They will be playing the Bears. So back to Joe Flacco. He signs his contract. There's been a lot of talk about Joe, and I even heard the left guard Joel talking about this whole thing with Flacco and moving forward, and how some people in the Twitter field are wanting to keep him and get rid of Deshaun. And Joel was just like, okay, let me stop you all right there. That's not happening. And it's a nice cover story. It's a nice run through the playoffs. What is it? Don Strock was the last guy in Cleveland that was, he had a nice tan cut. 1988 came off the street or
got him off the Doral Country Club in Florida.
Yeah, nice tan. Playing in the playoffs. That I remember that. That was the year I graduated from high school. So, where are we at with Joe and finishing this year out? I mean, I love what I'm seeing. I did go back and watch the rest of that game on Sunday because I had some other events that I was attending, so I wasn't able to watch that second half. But he's making some good throws, some good decisions. He made one stupid decision with that interception. I did finally see that.
That should have been called defensive pass
interference.
Yeah. That was an
Tillman.
Illegal pick, and it was past 5 yards.
Yes.
So that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So that I don't blame him for that. He's better. His footwork still needs a little bit, and I think as he plays more, that'll come along.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's exciting to think about
10+ yard passes.
Well,
which I love.
And I think that and you think about little situations. The fact that David Bell, a little used wide receiver, just came up with a huge play in that game. Huge.
They talked about it in the huddle. David Bell and him talked about it before the play. And
really?
David Bell said, look for me because this guy's playing way off of me.
Okay.
And the guy, if you notice, when David Bell went to cut the guy that was covering him.
Slipped.
Well, he was past him.
Yes. Yes.
He thought David Bell was going to go all the way across the field.
Yes.
And he just went, stopped, gone.
Yeah. Well, and David Bell, to his credit, I mean, the kid is from Purdue, and I've talked about him. I've written about him many times, especially going in the last year when he was a rookie. And I mean, he caught everything. He was the Big Ten wide receiver of the year. And
over
just
Garrett and Olave.
Just a nice story. If you read his backstory and just his growing up and stuff, I just thought it's a real positive. And so I was happy for that kid, and you're happy to see those moments. And then you add in this flair of elderness with Joe Flacco, who's 38, going to be 39 years old, talking to some of these youngins. It's just a really neat story. And if the Browns can sort of continue to thrive and win, this could be something special. And it's kind of nice for Browns fans at this point in the season, considering everything we're talking about already with the IR and players getting injured and Deshaun Watson saga, and off the field you still have the Haslams with all sorts of messiness. I heard some stories coming out of Cleveland tonight from those that live up in Cleveland about the news they've been talking about the Haslams and some of the things that he should not have been doing illegally, potentially with Pilot, and some things that have been popping up there in their news.
That was a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
He was trying to caught overestimating his revenues so he can get a bigger share out of Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett's guy caught him. Okay.
So, I mean, those are the negative things. On the side, the good side that we're talking about, Joe Flacco. I mean, Sam, what do you like about Joe Flacco? You've not seen him when he was in his heyday, but he did a lot of things when he was younger, and I think it's just kind of a crazy, weird story
he's interesting because he is a veteran, and I feel like there's a thing about veterans that just can't be achieved with a younger quarterback like Deshaun. I get that Deshaun is a little older, but he lost like two years in the league. but there's something about veteran quarterbacks that really is it's a different aspect to the team that it isn't easy to get because you have to have a veteran quarterback. So teams like the Texans or the Panthers with their rookies and stuff, it just isn't something that you can achieve. And it's not even like it's not a huge advantage, but it's something small there. He understands the game. He's played it. He's won. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's done things like that. And so I feel like being a veteran, having a veteran quarterback, is just something important, especially someone who's been there before, who handles pressure well and stuff like that.
Steve, I know last week you've mentioned this a little bit, and we've talked about it off air a little bit about, Joe, and that, can he maintain what we're seeing? Or is there, I know there was some concern about, will there be a drop off? It's a nice shiny story right now, but 4 weeks from now, is the mystery and the aura of all of this going to fade away? Or can this be like a magical Christmas story? And I think of Buddy the Elf, Santa, we're pushing forward. We got the North Pole. We're excited. We're, Super Bowl. Is it too much to dream, or are we actually dreaming this, or is this really potentially something like Sam says, you can't really replicate that he is a veteran, and the Browns have not had someone like a Joe Flacco running their team,
since Jacoby Brissett.
Well, even so, but not.
I'm kidding,
Jacoby Brissett. I mean, you really think about it. I mean, I think of players like when you go way back, like you think about a guy like Jeff Garcia, who played for the Brownies back in 2013, 2012.
Yeah, the reason we didn't draft Ben Roethlisberger.
He was coming off it's Super Bowl, those sorts of things. I think it's just the idea that this guy, Joe Flacco, has been in the league for a long time. Like you said, Super
years.
Bowl, all these things. And now he's here in Cleveland, and he's just got signed, and barring an injury, this guy has got them in a spot that they're 8-5. And then now they got the Bears
knock on
coming
wood,
in.
knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood. You
All
gotta
right.
stop doing that, John.
All right.
The best thing about Joe Flacco, I think he's the healthiest quarterback in the NFL right now because he just got off his couch 3 weeks ago. I'm serious. I mean, you see all the we were talking beforehand, all the quarterbacks have been dropping like fly. Like, who are the starting quarterbacks tonight in tonight's game?
Yeah. Oh,
anybody?
Anybody?
I gotta say this, Sam. This is just funny, and this is just so the guy that's starting for the Raiders, this O'Connell kid, O'Connell. Okay, like 4th round draft pick. I don't even know what college did he come from? Anybody know?
No idea, man.
Okay. Well, here's all I can do is laugh. I'm sorry. This is like, I'm too old for this, but Sam, this is like, if we were to put a disguise, Sam, on you and put a fake mustache on you right now, that's what this O'Connell guy looks like warming up. They keep showing close-ups of him on the NFL Network. And he has this, like real mustache, but it looks, the kid's probably like 22, and it's just funny. I just like, kid just looks like guy looks like he's 12 wearing a mustache. So, all right. So yeah, San Diego. I mean, the Chargers also have another quarterback, Stick, or some odd character.
I don't know his name right now.
Who knows?
I think it's like, Stick,
right now you got people out there starting for quarterbacks that last year at this time we had no idea who they were.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Easton Stick.
I almost had it right. I had Stick. See, I can't get that name out of my head.
The one reason I don't think there's going to be a drop off for Flacco this year is because he's been sitting at home all year. I mean, before the last couple of years, as the season went on, he get beat up a little bit. Now he's been sitting at his parents' house in Delaware. He got the NFL ticket and he watches the games. with his mom and dad. And yes, he has his own house and all that, but still, he likes to spend it with his family. And
sure.
Which I think is
he's
smart.
had that opportunity. What's that?
I think it's smart to stay with your parents for a little while after turning 18.
Not?
Yes.
Yeah, it's cheaper. And my parents gave me a suitcase on my 18th birthday.
Right. That's
that tells you where I was going.
Yeah, you're going to school.
Anyway,
you're going to college. Okay, goodbye.
I don't think we're going to see that decline. I think this has really given him a better perspective on the game of football as a quarterback, and I think he's rejuvenated by the guys around him in that locker room. So I don't think there's going to be a drop off.
Seeing Kevin Stefanski running down the sideline like a kid also after that play. Awesome. That was pretty cool. That's pretty cool because that's what I do. That's what you do when we see them scoring some touchdowns. I'm up here in my loft, run around. Yes, touchdown. All right, well, let's pause for a quick break. This is the Fanatical Elfz show, part of Fans First Sports Network. We will be right back. We're back. Hope you enjoyed those commercials.
Loved it.
Who's the guy? Who was the guy that's been in the Uncle or the Tommy Boy movie? Who was he was on Saturday Night Live. Tommy Boy.
Farley.
Not Chris Farley's the other guy. Spade, David Spade.
Yeah, David Spade.
He does all the commercials on our Fanatical Elfz. When you start our podcast, you'll hear his commercial for something. so I always laugh. Yeah. Tune in to us, folks. If you haven't tuned in, and I know a lot of you haven't, every day I talk to Browns fans, new Browns fans, and I say, hey, we got this podcast called the Fanatical Elfz. Check us out. Go to Apple, type in Cleveland Browns, and bam, there comes the Fanatical Elfz. Subscribe to us and follow us, and you'll never miss a show. And we just love that. So, by the way, I'm giving away my tickets. If you have any interest in my Browns tickets Sunday, please contact me at John Suchan, JOHNSUCHAN, on the X, the Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I'll give you a really good price for those tickets. They might not be free, but close to free. All right. The Bears, they come into this game 5-8. They beat, who did they beat? They surprised people. They beat
Lions.
The Lions.
They beat the Lions twice. They beat Minnesota, who just won 3-0 over the Raiders this past week.
Yeah, with
they have won 4 of their last 5. They have become a completely different team on defense.
Yes,
with Montez Sweat has joined them. I mean, they went from
isn't he a singer? Isn't Montez Sweat a singer? I thought Sweat. Oh, Keith Sweat. No, that's not Keith
lineman that can wreck a game. The first 10 weeks, the first 8 weeks, the whole team had 10 sacks. In the last 5 weeks, the whole team has 11 sacks.
Wow.
He has 3.5 sacks in 5 games.
So, and when they got him, what was the reason for that move?
No idea. Everybody criticized it, and then they gave him an extension, and everybody laughed at him. But it seems to be working. They are a totally different defense with him. They really are.
Mm-hmm. I don't think this is a gimme either for the Brownies. Why do you think it's a gimme?
I don't think nothing's a gimme in the NFL, but I think it's winnable. I mean, Justin Fields has been sacked 32 times in 9 games.
Oof.
He holds on to the ball longer than anybody in the NFL, 3.3 seconds. They just came off of playing Matthew Stafford and Trevor Lawrence. I think Stafford is 4th in the league in getting rid of the ball, and Lawrence is 6th. So that's going to show you the difference. And they, on offense, they start 2 very, very young tackles. So if I'm the Browns, I use JOK to watch for Fields when he gets going, and you just got to contain him, and you got to attack the edges of their offensive line.
Okay.
Bingo.
Sam.
Okay, so don't watch the game. I just told you I was going to end.
What do you think, Sam, about the Bears? The Bears.
They're interesting. I mean, they were terrible at the start of the season, just awful. But I think when Montez Sweat came, He was pretty good. And then with Justin Fields finally figuring out a little bit of his problems that he was having in the beginning of the season, DJ Moore and him have been getting really heating up with. But I think it'll be. I don't think it's going to be a easy win like a lot of the Bears games were thought to be like 6 or 7 weeks ago. But the Bears still aren't the best of teams. They still are a beneath the a low pack, not low pack, but like a bottom 20 team. They still aren't going to they aren't a number one team. They aren't going to crush you, and you're gonna have to play your best football to win. But but it is the NFL. It's not going to be an easy game no matter how you play it. So I still think we got to play our best football. But I don't think it'll be as difficult as maybe the Jaguars might have been, or a team like that.
Where are the? I mean, outside of what you've already mentioned, or maybe what you already mentioned as far as strengths for the Bears? You said the defense is different. What are some other strengths? Is that the biggest strength? Either
Probably.
one of you? Yeah, Steve.
They're just solid. I mean, they have a really good secondary. They have two good linebackers. Their defensive line is good. They're just a very solid team. Jalen Johnson, the corner they have, is the number one corner. When they target him, the QBR is the lowest in the league. Second on that league is Martin Emerson. So that shows you how good he is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. That was my follow-up question was, as far as
they get a lot on offense. They get a lot of their plays, their offensive plays, big plays. They get muddled a little bit, and they get, kind of bogged down. And then all of a sudden they'll hit a big play. And that's the highlight you see on ESPN. They're not going to show you all the,
crap in between.
And their defense against Detroit, the last game, they gave up a lot of yardage to the Detroit running backs.
Who's the Bears running back? Is it the Johnson kid that was from?
I have no idea.
I can't. I don't know.
There was the kid named last name Johnson who we wanted from Texas. That they drafted.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
is he still out there?
He's one of them. Yeah, they can. They do give up like I said, against Detroit. Two running backs had good.
Their running back is Donta Foreman and Khalil Herbert.
Herbert, okay.
And then they have a third guy that I don't think he gets used.
So I'm interviewing Andy from the NFL Outdated website, and he does his own podcasting over the years, and I've done several shows with him. And so Saturday, the Johnny Cleveland podcast will be interviewing Andy, and he's a big Bears fan. Knows the NFC, is it the North Division pretty well. And so I'll be anxious to talk to him Saturday. So tune into that for the Fanatical Elfz show as we interview him. He's like I said, a big Bears fan, knows a lot about the interior of that team. So we'll learn some more there Saturday. We're also gonna have a pregame and postgame, I think, on Sunday. The game starts at 1:00. Hopefully these guys will be there, or maybe not. One of them might be, one of them might. I don't know. So I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
I might be going to the Middle Tennessee Browns Packers bar.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't been since game one.
Oh, good. You should do that.
Since you got a Thursday night game, and I don't want to wait till the Christmas Eve game. That's not going to happen.
Oh yeah,
and the last game of the season, January 7th. So I don't know. I got to see. what kind of mood I'm in.
I'm voting that you go do it. You go do it. This is the time of the year. It's festive. It's holiday.
It's all up to my lovely bride. So
that's usually the case. In that case, good luck. So let's talk final takes here. I think it's personally, the Browns played this Bears team. Was it 2 years ago? And it was Justin Fields' first game, and it was first there in person. It was just the Bears did absolutely nothing. They couldn't move the ball at all, and the Browns defense played very well. It was early in the season that year. The Bears have come a long way. Justin Fields is still there. I think he's a very good quarterback. I worry about his legs, though he might not run as much as he has in the past. I think the Browns have every advantage in this game. They're playing the game at home, and I think that'll help again. I think the fan base will be even more in a tizzy coming off that big win over Jacksonville. The weather here is supposed to be moderately pretty nice, 40s and lower 50s even up in Cleveland. Chance of rain, but the big rain is going to stay to kind of to the east of us by that Sunday. So it should be really good weather conditions. And I think the Browns pull it out and they win it. We'll see how it goes. I don't see a lot of points being scored in this one. Not like the last one we just came out of against Jacksonville, but I do see the Browns getting a win, and then they have to go down to Houston the following week. But first, they got to get this win. So, yep. Sam, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this weekend before I go to Steve?
I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good game. I don't think either team is going to quote blow each other out. I think this is going to be a competitive game. I don't think either team. I think the Browns are a better team, in my opinion, especially with how Joe Flacco has done. But I also feel like the Bears have been getting a little hot. I feel like they have started to figure out some things that they were struggling with in the beginning of the season, such as quarterback, defense, things like that. But it'll be fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see how the Browns defense does, how the Browns offense, if their offense is able to continue to play as well as they've been playing the past 2 weeks. It'll be fun. I don't think either team is better than each other, but I do think the Browns are going to win. I think the Browns just are a better team than the Bears, at least right now.
The fact that the Browns took a good lead on Jacksonville, I thought was huge last Sunday. And they actually had the momentum. They could have even taken it further, but started making a few mistakes. But just the idea that they got on top in that game early really gave everybody a lot more confidence. The defense was playing more inspired. They were getting interceptions and all this other fun stuff. So I think that's going to be another key in this one. What are your final thoughts there, Steve?
Well, I hope to see. The last two games that Flacco has played, the first drive they go down and get a touchdown, and then the next 3 or 4 drives they get muddled down and a lot of 3 and outs. I'd like to see a little bit more scripted plays on the second and third possessions as well. I think if this game was in Chicago, I'd be worried about it. But it's at home. I'll throw out a weird stat for you. Browns allow the fewest points at home this year, 12.6.
Yep.
And they allow the most on the road, 30.7. So thank goodness this is at home. I think they could win this game.
Yeah.
I think Flacco will play even better than he did before. I think he's picking up more of the offense, getting back into the rhythm.
Yeah.
The game is so slow to him right now because he is a 15-year vet.
Well,
so
I think too that this team is still, there's a little bit of chatter that there are ways that this team could catch even the Ravens and even catch that one or two seed in the playoff. And they could get, a series of home playoff games. By the way, the Brownies sent out an email tonight or this afternoon to our season ticket holders telling us that they will be charging us for the home playoff game if they do get a home playoff game. So I have that to look forward to. But I'll have tickets to the game. So
and the good thing about also this game is 4 teams that are chasing the Browns play on Saturday.
Yes.
Bengals.
Yes.
Colts, Steelers, Denver.
See, now that could be looked at as positive or negative.
3 of those teams are going to have to lose.
I'll tell you why that's a negative. Because and this is a terrible analogy, but I coached basketball at the high school level and the women's basketball, and we were coming into that for that last game. We were 4 wins. We had a 4-game winning streak, and I made the mistake of getting too confident as a coach and sharing that confidence with my players, and we got crushed this past.
That was your fault.
I know it's my anyway. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. The Browns don't get too ahead of themselves.
Oh, they won't. No, those days are gone.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. You can tell just from the coaching staff that they know what they have to do this time.
Well, I would have thought those days are gone for me too as the coach. I've been around.
Well, you don't have Jim Schwartz and Bubba Ventrone on your coaching staff.
No, we're anyway. No, it should be a fun day down at the ballpark. I hope everybody has a great time down there. And if you want any tickets, I've got them right here. Contact me, John Suchan on the X. And so, Steve, thank you so much for being here. Sam, thank you again for being here. And we'll likely see some of you this weekend. Sam, you gonna be available for a pregame on Sunday? Or are you out and about?
I think I might be able to be there.
Sweet. So, Steve, go to Middleton, Tennessee.
I can still be here. It just depends on the time.
Well, we can do a little bit earlier if you'd like.
I mean, it's a 15-minute drive. I mean, that's
well. What do you think, folks? If you're listening, what do you think we should do, Steve? What do you think? 10 a.m. your time, or no, 10 a.m. Eastern?
I could do it 10 a.m. Central, 11 o'clock Eastern.
How's that work for you? We're making plans live in the air.
This is thrilling.
We'll get back to you. This is live television. Sam's
check
thinking
your schedules, everybody.
Yeah.
Check your calendar.
Sam, you can text me later. So everybody have a great night. Thanks again for checking us out on the Fanatical Elfz Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Steve Gill, Sam, they do great shows. Dog Pound South, Steve does. Browns Breakdown, Sam does. Amazing stuff every week. Bringing it. I think, Sam, you did 2 shows this week, right? We got them out there.
I'm actually technically doing 3 shows in this total week because I did one on Monday, one on Wednesday, and one on Saturday.
Are you giving me one Saturday? Sweet. Mm-hmm. Sweet. You can't miss it out, man. I love listening to your shows, Sam, because you bring it, you bring down, it's right there. It's level, it's smart, thought out stuff. Steve, brings his stuff that's sort of like he just understands not to get, too high or too low. And I appreciate about his shows. So thanks, guys. Enjoy your evening and go Browns. Woof.
Go Browns.
Woof.
Can't even see the jersey. It's 2.
I had to even.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Coop.
Amari Cooper.
Good. Okay. See y'all. Hey, goodbye.